guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amanda, and as you can tell by the title, this is my March TBR pursuit and Sequelathon TBR. So here's the board. If you guys are not aware of what TBR pursuit is, I will link the playlist up above. I've only played it a couple times. This is actually not my original idea, so I will link Jade's channel down below so you can check her out as well. And I'm gonna put this down because it's huge and I cannot hold this for the duration of the video. So essentially, I roll 6 times to fill in 6 pieces of a pie, and then I read those books for the month. This month there's a lot going on because it is Sequelathon, round 3 of that. If you guys are not familiar about Sequelathon, I did an announcement last week, so I will link that as well if you want to go check it out. And the whole premise of that readathon is to read sequels. I'm a co-host. There are only 3 prompts, pretty simple. And also, Becca from Becca and the Books just announced a 48-hour Bookworm. So it's pretty freaking cool. It will be live streamed the entire 48 hours by 10 different booktubers, and you cannot plan your TBR ahead of time. So I'm just hoping that some of the books that I've chosen for this month will fit into some of those prompts, because it does take place right in the middle of Sequelathon. So I'm really hoping I can finagle that some way, but we will see what happens. Before I get into this month's rolls, let's talk about how February went. So one of the prompts was to read a fantasy less than 500 pages. I completed that with A Winter's Promise by Christelle Dabos. Another one of the prompts was to read a book with a foiled cover. I completed that by reading The Hazelwood. Then I had the prompt of read a new to you author in historical fiction. I completed that by reading Yellow Wife by Sadiqa Johnson. Another one of the prompts was to read an Asian-inspired fantasy. I completed that by reading Girls of Storm and Shadow by Natasha Gone. I had read a book with green on the cover. I completed that prompt by reading A Wolf for a Spell by Kara Sutton. And finally, I had the prompt to read a middle grade fantasy. I completed that by reading East by Edith Patel. So pretty great reading month overall. I finished all of my prompts for the month of February. I also finished all of my prompts for the month of January. I just forgot to talk about it last video. So now that that is out of the way, let's get into the rolls. Roll number 1, 3. 1, 2, 3, which is mystery thriller. Name a booktuber's favorite thriller. That's actually a really cool prompt. I'm excited about that. So I landed on Orange, which is a mystery thriller. The prompt for that was to read a booktuber favorite. And so I chose Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. This was a favorite of BookTube in 2019, I believe. This is the only Riley Sager that I have not read. I love Riley Sager's writing, and I'm really excited to finally get to this one. I think this is about a woman that was hired as a nanny, and she works in this like high-rise smart house, and I think a child dies or something. I don't really know. I don't know. But I could be completely wrong on that, but that's okay. I don't need to know. I'm really excited to finally pick this one up though. Roll number 2. 1. Pink, which is adult contemporary. Romance. Name a romance. Sweet. Roll number 2, I landed on adult contemporary, and the prompt for that was to read a romance. So I chose Honey Girl by Morgan Rhodes. This is one of my most anticipated reads of 2021. And I've heard nothing but amazing things about this book. This follows a girl who takes a trip to Vegas, ends up married, doesn't know her wife, goes home, is trying to find herself and trying to figure out her wife. And that's all I know. Like I said, I've heard nothing but amazing things about this book. I love the cover of this book, and I'm just really, really, really excited to finally pick this up. Roll number 3. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Roll again, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantasy. Let's do roll again. That was a weird roll. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. YA contemporary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Adult contemporary. Let's do YA contemporary. Find a book with the lowest rating on your TBR. Okay. I think I've already done that prompt, but that's alright. So roll number 3, I landed on Blue, which is YA Contemporary, and the prompt for that is to read the lowest rated on my TBR. So I just went to Goodreads, I sorted my books by rating, and then I scrolled through until I found a YA Contemporary. And I came across Marlena by Julie Bunton. I've had this book since March of 2017. This is a book of the month pick. At that time I was excited about it, but then I never heard anything about it and I just have never picked it up. This is a YA coming of age story where it's about 2 girls and one of the girls goes missing and I think the other one's trying to figure out what happened to her. And that's all I know. I mean, I was excited about it at the time. I still have not heard anything about it since then, but I think this will be a good read. I am always excited to like pick things off my shelf that I would have normally not picked up, just to see what I think about them. I mean, I've got rid of a lot of books this year because of that, but that's okay because I'm going through my own shelves, which is the point. Roll number 4, 3, 1, 2, 3, mystery thriller, oh, other, sorry, or 1, 2, 3, fantasy. Let's do other. Can you find a gifted book? I also like that prompt. Roll number 4, I landed on Yellow, which is other, and the prompt for that was to read a gifted book. So I chose The Lifeboat. This is by Charlotte Rogan. This is historical fiction. This was gifted to me by my friend Laura. She used to have a booktube channel. She hasn't posted in a really long time, but she gifted this to me many years ago and I've never gotten around to it. This is about a young woman named Grace who has just eloped in London, and her husband take off on a steamboat, or ocean liner. Her and her husband get on an ocean liner set for America, and I think the ship sinks. Her husband puts her on a lifeboat and stays behind, and I think it's just her trying to get to safety or trying to figure out her life. I don't know. I think it's a survival story, really, and I'm really intrigued by this one. I hadn't heard of it before Laura sent it to me, but she really enjoyed it, and I think I'm going to enjoy it as well. All right, roll number 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Roll again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fantasy. We'll do fantasy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Find the next book in a series. That works out great because March is Sequelathon. Roll number 5, I landed on Green, which is fantasy. The prompt for that was to read the next in a series, which is perfect. I'm going to read Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. This is the second book in the Throne of Glass series. I am participating in Tog-Along. I think it's still happening. If not, I'm still going to read a book a month until I finish the series this year. Yeah, so and not much to say about that. I'm reading Throne of Glass right now. I'm enjoying it. This is a reread for me as well. All right, 6th and final roll. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is adult contemporary, or 1, 2, 3, 4, which is historical fiction. So I can either do historical fiction, which means I'll have every genre on my board in this month's TBR. I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go with historical fiction. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no! Can you find a book with 400 plus pages? Yikes. Okay. The 6th and final roll, I landed on Purple, which is historical fiction, and the prompt for that was to read a book that is 400 plus pages. And at first I didn't know what I was going to read, and then I realized that I wanted to read The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna. This is almost 500 pages. It's one of my most anticipated reads of 2021, and it's a 5-star prediction. So I might as well, you know, that's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone, right? My camera's gonna die, so I need to hurry up and get through this. For Sequelathon, there are only 3 prompts. One of them is to continue on in a series that you started last year. I'm gonna cheat a little bit with this one, and I'm gonna read Crown of Midnight for this. I did start rereading this in December, so I feel like this is fitting. Don't tell anybody. The other prompt is to continue with the series that you started over a year ago, and then the final prompt is to complete a series. Either like just read the entire series or read the next up to the publication date. So for that, I'm gonna double up, which I don't know if you're allowed to do, but I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna read Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. This is the final book in the Mistborn trilogy, and I've been meaning to read it for such a long time, so I figured why not start it. I don't know if I'm gonna finish this. The Sequelathon is only 10 days, but I'm definitely gonna try. I'm really gonna try. It is almost 800 pages, and it is dense, and the writing is small, but I really, really want to read this year, and I thought Sequelathon is the best time to do it. So I think between this and Crown of Midnight, I may be able to get those done in 10 days. We also have the 48-hour Bookworm happening. Maybe I can fit these books into that. If not, at least during Sequelathon, I can start this and I can get it done in the month of March. That is my goal. So those are all the things that I want to read in March. Besides the Bookworm, we'll see what happens. If I can fit these in, great. If not, I might pick up something else. But it's not a bad TBR, and I'm really excited about it. Let me know down below if you guys are going to participate in Sequelathon or Bookworm, the 48-hour Bookworm. Let me know if you've read any of these or if you want to read any of them. And I think that's it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on Goodreads, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.